Hi, my name is Alex Casablanca. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the top 5 most common mistakes to avoid when you are buying a triple net property. Buying a triple net property will be one of the most important financial decisions that you will ever make as an investor. You must feel at peace with the property that you choose before you buy it and years after buying it. Therefore, it is very important that you choose wisely and avoid some common mistakes that could affect your investment in the future. So let's get into the top 5 most common mistakes to avoid when buying a triple net property. Number 1, not having a buyer's broker to represent your interests and dealing directly with the seller's broker. The number 1 mistake that I see triple net buyers making is not having a knowledgeable and experienced buyer's broker to represent their interests. They usually call the seller's brokers directly to inquire about the property and continue proceeding with the transaction, dealing with the seller's broker as their broker. First and foremost, the seller's broker represents the best interest of the seller, not your best interest as a buyer. The seller's broker will not tell you the red flags and the possible hidden risks of the property that they are selling. They represent the seller, they don't represent you. If you choose to deal with the seller's broker directly, you will be indirectly choosing them as your broker, a broker that does not represent your interest. The best way to illustrate the importance of having an adequate buyer's representation is comparing it with the need of a knowledgeable attorney that you choose to represent you. Would you choose the seller's attorney to represent you in the transaction? Even if the seller's attorney might offer you to represent you for free, most likely you will refuse it and you will hire your own attorney that represents your own interests exclusively. In the same way, you need an experienced and knowledgeable buyer's broker to represent your interests exclusively. Unlike the attorneys that you have to pay them no matter what, a buyer's broker gets paid from the seller, so you will be getting an expert advice and representation at no additional cost to you. With the proliferation of online listings platforms, it is completely normal that you would want to do some research on your own. If you team up with a knowledgeable and experienced buyer's broker, he or she can also help you doing all the inquiries and all the work on behalf of you on those properties that you find on your own. My best advice to you is to make sure that you start the process of buying a triple net property by having appropriate buyer's representation, in the same way that you will hire your own attorney to represent you. Number 2, focusing only in high cap rates properties, ignoring the risk involved. The cap rate is the first focus of attention for every investor. We all want to buy a property at the highest cap rate possible, and that's understandable and perfectly normal. However, it is very important to highlight a very basic concept of investment, and it is the higher the yield, the higher the risk, and the lower the yield, the lower the risk. This simple concept applies not only to triple net properties, but to any type of investment, whether it's real estate, bonds, mutual funds, among others. Every property that is being offered at an above average cap rate will come with a higher level of risk, whether it's just a few years remaining on the lease, or a substandard location, or a weak franchisee, among many others. There is no such thing as a higher cap rate property with a very low risk. However, every investor has a very different risk tolerance and profile. Some investors are looking for a more low-risk passive income investment, while others are willing to take a higher risk in exchange of a higher cap rate. As an example, triple net properties with strong investment grade tenants, such as McDonald's, Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, Wawa, Walgreens, CVS, among others, will come at a lower cap rate than a property that is guaranteed by a small franchisee. At the same time, a Walgreens with 15 years remaining on the lease may be offered at 5% cap rate, while the same Walgreens with just 5 years remaining on the lease might be offered at 6% cap rate because it proceeds with a higher risk. It is very important for the investor to understand the relationship between risk and reward and pursuing properties that go according to their risk profile and risk tolerance. Number 3, focusing on properties that are located close to where they live. We all like familiarity. We all feel more comfortable buying a property that is close to where we live, and that's certainly a value added. However, the best property is not the one that is close to where you live. The best property is the one with the best location, the best tenant, and the best real estate fundamentals. The property that is closer from where you live could be the worst investment, while a property that is located in another state in a top location might end up being a better investment. If you can find a property with those characteristics close to where you live, that would be great and would be the ideal scenario. However, more often than not, the best property is not close to where you live. So it's important that you keep your possibilities as open as possible so you can find the best property for you, no matter where it is located. Number 4, submitting offers substantially below asking price. We all want to buy a property at the lowest price possible, and that's understandable. But submitting offers substantially below asking price will not attract sellers' attention, and it will probably be discarded as a low blow offer. But the question that you might be asking is, what could be considered a substantially low offer? As a rule of thumb, an offer should not be lower than 10% of the asking price, or no more than 0.5% above asking cap rate. Generally, there's always room for negotiation. However, how much room it might be will depend on several factors, such as how many offers the seller have received for the property. If there are any other offers close to asking price, then in that situation, if you want the property, you will have to be closer to asking price to get an opportunity for the offer to be considered. On the contrary, if there are no other offers, the seller might be willing to be more flexible in reducing the price of the property. The key concept is reasonability. If you are selling your own property and you receive an offer 20% under your asking price, chances are that you are not going to consider it either. As your buyer's broker, we are very diligent and assertive in negotiating offers on behalf of our clients and getting inside information about how much room for negotiation is in order to get the best price for our clients. The seller's broker will obviously not tell you that. Number 5, buying or pretending to buy a triple net property with a high leverage financing. A triple net investment is a passive income investment in which the cap rate generally does not sustain a high leverage financing structure. And for that reason, most triple net acquisitions are all cash. Nowadays, with the recent increases in interest rates by the Federal Reserve, most banks are charging 6%, even 7% and above for a commercial loan. If you will be getting 5 or even 6% return on a triple net property, it will not be financially feasible to get a mortgage at 7%. Even with structure at 50% loan to value or less, will put you in a position in which most of your rental income will go towards paying the mortgage, leaving you with not enough net cash flow. In the current high interest rates environment that we are in right now, I am not recommending my clients to buy a triple net property with financing unless it is a very low loan to value that could make the transaction financially feasible for you. If you are looking for a truly passive income investment, the cap rate will be lower, therefore will not withstand a high leverage financing structure. In summary, the top 5 mistakes to avoid when buying a triple net property are: number 1, not having a buyer's broker to represent your interest and dealing directly with the seller's broker. Number 2, focusing only on properties with high cap rates, ignoring the risk involved. Number 3, focusing on properties that are close to where you live. Number 4, submitting offers substantially below asking price. Number 5, buying or pretending to buy a triple net property with a high leverage financing structure. Hiring an experienced and knowledgeable buyer's broker that can assist and guide you will definitely help you to avoid those common mistakes. At Casablanca, we specialize in representing triple net buyers and 1031 exchange investors. We have the knowledge and expertise to guide you along the way, from market research, identifying potential properties, submitting offers and negotiating them, due diligence, up to the closing table. We have helped many triple net buyers and 1031 exchange investors in finding and negotiating the best property according to their investment goals and risk tolerance. Moreover, we represent our buyers for free since we get paid from the seller. And we also pay for our buyers' closing costs up to a maximum of $10,000. This incentive will offset or cover completely the major buyer's closing cost expenses, such as title fees, attorney's fees, recording fees, among others. We are the brokers that give you more in exchange of your trust. You get our expert advice at no additional cost to you. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me directly at 407-205-7570, or you can also send me an email at alex@casablancacre.com. Feel free to call me anytime at your convenience. I am always available for my clients. Thank you so very much for watching this video, and I'm looking forward to working with you. Have a great day.